Hello, and welcome to the archives. I'm back again. I know it's was a while before between the last one and the one before it, and this one is like really short, but after making the last one, talking about Data and Destiny and all of the wonderful, yummy NBN cards that are kicking around in that, I was feeling incomplete because there's a whole bunch of other cards coming out in Data and Destiny, and I'm like, I'll just I'll just go and talk about them. Why not? Now, there's a few extra neutral corp cards, and there's a few neutral runner cards, which I'm going to be talking about first. And then I'm going to be talking into um, the special unaffiliated runners, the mini runner factions that are kicking around in Data and Destiny. So let's get started. Right here we have Global Food Initiative. It is an agenda for a neutral agenda for any corp that wants it. It is a 5 point cost to advance this agenda. So you need 5 credits to advance it. And it is worth three agenda points. Now that is a hefty. 5 to score, it's pretty hefty but for a 3, it's not bad. However, Global Food Initiative is worth 1 fewer agenda point while in the runner's score area. I like this. So even if they manage to steal this from you, it's only worth 2 to the runner, but it's worth 3 to you. And the reason being, down here at the bottom, corporations are made up of people. It's ridiculous to think that they'd be either all good or all bad by Sonny LeBeau, and you'll get to see her in a bit. All right, on to the next card. Here we have an asset, a neutral asset for the corp. It is 1 to res it. It will cost 2 credits for the runner to trash it. It is an advertisement. And I made a mistake last time saying the advertisements were only in Data and Destiny. No, they were in the Sand cycle as well. I messed that up. I apologize. But this one, asset advertisement. You place 6 credits from the bank on launch campaign when it is resed. When there are no credits left on launch campaign, you trash it. When your turn begins, take 2 credits from launch campaign. Now I'm not sure whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. Small I like small dollops of money in a lot of my decks for the corp because it's usually the kind of thing where the runner thinks, oh, it's only a little bit of money, I'm not going to worry about it. But over time that builds up, and I kind of like that sort of thing. But for 1 click to install this and 1 credit to res it, and you get 6 credits over 3 turns, it's not bad. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it's not bad. I might have to find a use for this in one of my decks. And I believe this is a no influence neutral, so that's a good thing too. On to the next one. Here we have the piece of ice, the lone piece of ice that is neutral, no influence cost. It costs 7 to res it. It is a strength 5 sentry destroyer AP tracer named Assassin with two subroutines. Trace 5 if successful, do 3 net damage. Trace 4 if successful, trash 1 program. Bounce rate is a well understood measure of ice strength, but it is not the only measure. I love the flavor text they have on these cards. This looks like a decent piece of ice, especially for my NBN decks, because it does net damage and it trashes programs if traces are successful. And with a lot of my NBN deck revolving around tracers and trace programs, um, especially with that new card coming out that I talked about last time, Improved Tracers, yeah, Assassin is going to have to be one that might be seeded in, replacing some of my other ice in my NBN deck. Okay, so let's move on to the neutral runner cards. Here we have Employee Strike. It is an event that is a current, a 1 credit cost to play this event. Of course, as all currents, the card is not trashed until another current is played or an agenda is scored. The corpse identity text box is blank. Now this is the same as oh, what was it? Static interference, I think. I can't remember the exact name, but there was a corp card that basically made the runner's text box blank. This is the basically the same thing, just for the runners to throw against the corp. The flavor text: Are you crazy? We can't send in Prysac until the media gets bored and goes home. Good old unions. Okay, on to the next one. Windfall, a 0 credit to play event. Shuffle your stack. Trash the top card of your stack. Gain X credits where X is equal to the install cost of that card. Oh, well, this could be good or bad. Um, this is definitely a bit of a risk reward here because if you happen to pull a card that has 0 credits, you've just wasted a click to play this event. Uh, hmm. But if you know your deck and you've always got stuff that's going to cost you money in it, this will always give you some money. And if you're not afraid to lose some cards, I'm not sure. This might be something that you could use with a oh, what's his name there? The dude that came out recently, the Shaper, Namir or Nadir Messian, I think it is. Um, he's the one that you end up getting. You end up replacing your credit pool, which with the cost of whatever ice, the first piece of ice that the corp reses that you encounter uh, each turn. This might be something to play with him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I use this card in any of my decks, but mostly because I don't really know a lot about playing the deck creation and whatnot. I'm not super into deck creation. I don't think in terms of um, percentages and that sort of thing. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Yeah, here we go. Now this is a resource connection. Jack Sinclair. It is a 3 credit cost to play. Reduce the cost to install Jack Sinclair by 1 for each link strength you have. The 2 little boxes there. When your turn begins, you may make a run. You cannot use programs during this run. Oh, okay, I see what that is. All right. Now this could be useful because it gives you a free run that doesn't cost you a click as long as you have it installed. Yeah, that could be useful, especially if the corp happens to have something unprotected or something that you can just spend credits to get through or spend clicks. Um, but I wouldn't try spending clicks. Wait, no. Oh, no, I made a boo-boo. Yes, I did make a boo-boo. I didn't notice that. Jack Sinclair is actually one of Sonny LeBeau's cards. Yeah, it is for her only. That's the little symbol down there in the bottom right corner. I made a mistake. Okay, this is a Sonny LeBeau card. So you're getting a little bit of a preview. Um, we'll be getting to Sonny LeBeau here very shortly. I apologize for that. But yeah, this could be interesting, especially for Sonny. Hmm. Let's actually go to the right one because there's only one actually here. Technical writer. Here we go. It is a 0 credit to cost, a resource, a neutral piece of resource. Whenever you install a piece of hardware or a program, place 1 credit from the bank on Technical Writer. You spend a click and trash, you take all credits from Technical Writer. Technically correct. The best kind of correct. Now, this is something I can get behind as a runner. If you can get this played and keep it played early on in the game, you're basically building up a stockpile of credits as you're having to install things, and then you can just reap all those credits once you've got everything installed that you need to. This could be a very helpful piece of resources. I like this card. I really do. So yeah, definitely might have to work that into a deck or two of mine. Um, yeah, I do apologize for going to Jack Sinclair there, uh, but now we're on to actually Sonny LeBeau, and here she is. Aha, Sonny LeBeau. She's got her own little symbol up there, own little color scheme. She is a 2 length strength to start, one of the few that have that high. She's a security specialist. The identity is a natural, so she's just human. She is a 50 card deck, minimum deck size, with a 25 influence. That is massive. That is a meaty, meaty deck. And given that there's only 7 other cards that are specifically hers, you're seeding in a lot. You're going to be seeding in a lot of neutral stuff and a lot of Anarch or uh, Anarch or Shaper or criminal stuff in with horror. And just the presence of her alone makes me really interested to play her. And I love the flavor text. Mommy will be home soon, sweetie. She has to kick some ass first. That is wonderful. And then, of course, you saw Jack Sinclair, that he was there. He's one that could be interesting because he gives you that free run. And now we'll go to her hardware. This is her console, the Security Nexus. It is an 8 credit console, and that is huge. That's a meaty cost for a console. But it gives you 1 additional memory unit and 1 additional link strength, plus the ability, once per turn, when you encounter a piece of ice, you may force the corp to trace 5. If successful, give the runner 1 tag and end the run. If unsuccessful, the runner bypasses the currently encountered ice. That is fantastic. Because if you've got this up and running, and let's say you don't have the right ice out to tackle a Heimdall or a Wall of Thorns or one of the other massively expensive, super dangerous pieces of ice that you really need the right program to deal with it, and you don't have it, but you do have the credits. You can be like, oh, I'm gonna run on this server, and when you get to that ice, you can just go, I'm forcing you to trace 5. How much you want to spend, Corp? And they go, I'll spend 3, and you're like, I spend all this credits. I walk past that piece of ice. That is fantastic. It could be used so well, absolutely so well. But you definitely need to have the credits. You need to have the resources to pull that off. So yeah, I like her. I like her console. That's a nice, nifty little touch. Now let's move on to her icebreakers. She has 3 icebreakers, and they are vicious. This is a 1 memory unit cost, 4 credit cost to install, GS Striker M1. Program Icebreaker Decoder Cloud. If you have at least 2 link strength, which Sonny LeBeau starts with, the memory cost of GS Striker M1 is 0, even if it's not installed. So you're basically getting free memory for this because it's on the cloud, I would assume. 2 credits to break any number of Codegate subroutines. Any number of them. 2 credits to add +3 strength. That is ridiculous, at least in my opinion. This is, it's like her programs are designed to just tear through corporation ice. It has a strength of 1, but considering you can boost that up to 4 for just 2 credits or 7 for 4 credits, it's not bad. And this one, 2 credits to break any number of Codegate subroutines. Oh, this is beautiful. it's bigger down here. Now you'll notice over the next two cards, because this one's bigger, and now we'll go to the next one. Boom. GS Shrike M2. It is an icebreaker, killer, cloud. If you have at least two link strength, the memory cost of GS Shrike M2 is 0, even if it's not installed. It is 2 credits to break any number of sentry subroutines. So the last one was a code gate breaker. This is a sentry breaker. 2 credits plus 3 strength, starts with plus 1 strength. It's got the same abilities for the same credit costs as the first one. It is 5 credit cost to install, so it's 1 credit more to install it. And it is badder, as you can see by the flavor text. So you have bigger, badder, and on to the next. Boom! The GS Sherman M3. It is a 3 credit cost to install, so it's 1 less than the Code Gate. It is an icebreaker Fractor Cloud. 1 strength. If you have 2 link strength, the memory cost is 0, even if it's not installed. 2 credits to break any number of barrier subroutines, and 2 credits to go plus 3 strength. The same abilities just for barrier ice. So she has a Code Gate breaker, a Sentry breaker, and a barrier breaker that are just sick. There's no other word to describe them. They're just sick. And it's a Sherman, which is based off of a Sherman tank. Bigger, badder, boom. I like these particular 3 that just for her, because she basically gets them for free as long as she's the one using them, because she has 2 link strength in terms of memory space at least. So that is just an amazing group of programs for her. And now we'll move to the next one. A security chip. It is a hardware. It costs 0 credits to install. You can trash it, choose an icebreaker, or any number of cloud icebreakers. Each chosen icebreaker has plus 1 strength for each link strength you have for the remainder of this run. Use this ability only during a run. Fortunately, GlobalSec buys them by the case. So if you've got something like this installed for free, basically, you can just trash it at any point. And let's say Sunny has her console installed that gives you an extra link strength. You just boosted all of your cloud ice, if you have them all installed, to a strength of 3 for the remainder of the run. Or a strength of 4, I should say. You boost them by a strength of 3. Uh, that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm pretty sure a lot of her programs are going to be stolen by other runners. You'll probably see that when this comes out. On to the next. GlobalSec Security Clearance. 2 credits to play. It is a virtual resource. Install it only if you have at least 2 link strength. When your turn begins, you may lose a click. If you do, look at the top card of R&D. Now that is wonderful. So you can just choose to lose a click, look at the top card of R&D. You're not accessing it, you're only looking at it. So you can look at it, and if you see it's an agenda, you can be like, I'm running. She approached the server, flashed her credentials, and passed straight through. She wondered what it said about her that doing things the legal way felt like cheating. Um, this could be very, very handy, especially if the corp doesn't have anything that lets them pull cards with like a paid ability. So yeah, this could be very, very useful. And there was also Jack Sinclair, who I actually talked about mistakenly. Uh, but that is all of Sunny LeBeau's cards. She looks like the sort of character that I am going to be extremely happy to be messing around with. I will probably make a deck for her as soon as Data and Destiny comes out. Okay, Now we're on to Adam, the Bioroid. That's right, you heard me right, Bioroid. A compulsive hacker has a 0 link strength. Identity Bioroid. You start the game with 3 different directive cards installed. These cards are not considered part of your deck. So you automatically start the game with 3 directive cards, and there's 3 directive cards in the uh, included with Data and Destiny. So those are the only 3 that I know of that are out. So those are the 3 you would naturally start with. There is a 45 minimum deck size with a 25 influence. Again, big, big influence. That allows for a lot. If you've got a lot of low cost influence cards that you want to seed in this deck, that gives you the opportunity to put more in than you would normally. So, I'm kind of interested in checking him out as well. Here we go. The directive cards. This one is Always Be Running. It's 0 credits to install. Well, considering that you automatically start the game with them installed, don't worry about the cost, but I'm still mentioning it. It is a resource directive virtual. Your first click each turn must be spent to make a run or play a run event. So basically, your first click every turn, you have to run. You have no choice. Once per turn, you can spend 2 clicks to break a subroutine on a piece of ice currently being encountered. And the flavor text lists the directives of the Bioroids. The second directive requires a Bioroid to complete its primary function above all other considerations, save the first directive. This could be trouble or it could be useful because the corp knows you always have to run. That you have no choice. You will be running the first, or you'll be playing a run event for your first turn. So they need to have defenses up to stop you. They can't be lax and think, oh, well, he just might not run. No, there will always be a run, probably more than one. On to the next. Neutralize all threats. Resource Directive Virtual, 0 credits to install. The first time each turn you access a card with a trash cost, you must trash it by paying its trash cost if able. Whenever you access cards from HQ, access one additional card. Now this is interesting because you have to trash cards if you have the credits for it. You have no choice. The first time each turn you access a card with a trash cost, you have to trash it if you're able to. But you also get to access one more card from the corp's hand. So that could be interesting. Uh, as I said, I'm definitely interested to give Adam a shot. Um, and he has the third directive. Requires a Bioroid to preserve its ability to function and report frequently to Haas Bioroid for repairs and updates. And finally, the Safety First. 0 cost to install. Resource Directive Virtual. Your maximum hand size is reduced by 2. Now, yeah, I know that sounds horrible. Um, but it also continues, when your turn ends, draw 1 card. If you do not have cards in your grip equal to or greater than your maximum hand size. The first directive forbids a Bioroid from harming or through inaction allowing harm to befall a human being. Now these directives that they have, they're there to kind of um, to basically symbolize that a Bioroid is a slave to its programming. So I can understand that. Um, this is nice being able to get a free draw for a card at the end of at the end of your turn. I like that part of it. The maximum hand size reduced by 2, I'm not so fond of, because that's only giving you 3 cards. And there's some stuff that can be like, oh, I give you 4 damage. Um, Adam might be the kind of character that I would stock up on Plastic Carapaces 4 and other things to mitigate damage. Um, he seems to be that type of a runner, but I'm not sure. Okay, on to the next. Now this is the brain chip. This is Adam's console. It's hardware. It's a 2 credit to install. It has plus X memory units. Your maximum hand size is increased by X. Interesting. X is equal to the number of agenda points you have. Okay, now this is fascinating because the directives are always forcing you to be running, always forcing you to trash cards if you can, and limiting your hand size to 3, but allowing you to draw that card at the end. And the other one lets you access a second card from HQ. But your maximum hand size is increased by however many agenda points you have, and you have extra memory units depending on how many agenda points you have. So the more agenda points you have, the better off you are. That works very synergistically, uh, if I can be so pretentious as to use the term. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm I'm definitely liking this. The more I see about Adam, the more I want to poke around with him. All right, now we'll go to the next one. It's a resource connection, Dr. Lovegood. Oh, baby. It is a 2 credit to install. When your turn begins, choose one of your installed cards. The text box of that card is blank for the remainder of the turn. You look tore up, kid. Have a seat. I'll fire up the arc welder. Okay, now this is good. You get this installed, you can be like, my turn begins. I choose this directive. I'm ignoring that for this turn. That is fascinating. Uh, yeah, they're doing some interesting stuff in the new stuff for this for Data and Destiny. I'm also interested in seeing what comes out with the Mumbad or Mumbai. I think it's Mumbad cycle, uh, where they go to Netrunner's India area and region. Okay, so we've got a couple more to go. Here we have independent thinking with a very creepy looking picture of Adam holding a bloody sledgehammer. It is a 1 credit to install. Event, trash up to 5 of your installed cards. Draw 1 card for each card trashed, or 2 cards for each card trashed if you trashed at least 1 directive. Oh, oh, oh my, no. I think, yeah. So you start the game with um, 3 directives installed, but you can trash your directives with this. And it's only 1 credit, and you can be like, yep, I'm not doing that anymore. Doot, 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 doot. Oh, wow. Now that's fascinating. Where you have directives that are like hindering you, but you can trash them if you get the card. Wow, that is fantastic. Adam raised the hammer, he was free. It's still a creepy picture, but wow. Okay, I'm really interested in checking out Adam. All right, on to the next. Here we have Multi-Threader. It is a 1 memory unit, 3 credit to install program that gives you 2 recurring credits. Use these credits to pay for using programs. Bioroids have 2 brains running in parallel. each capable of running sophisticated programming. There are certain advantages to the setup. So yeah, this is just a program that just gives you 2 credits, recurring every turn. You just get these free credits. Not bad. And for only 3 credits to install, if you've got a personal workshop, worth the worth the worth the wait for this. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. And now here we go to I believe the last cards. Yes, pretty sure of it. This here, yeah, this is Apex. And he is a creepy, creepy mofo, if you'll pardon my French. The invasive predator, 0 link strength. I believe it's Apex Predator is what they were going for. Um, its identity is digital. This is a completely digital entity. You cannot install non-virtual resources. When your turn begins, you may install 1 card from your grip face down. Now this kind of boggled me a little bit when I first heard it. I'm like, install it face down? That's weird. It's a 45 minimum deck size, 25 influence, just like all the others, because there's only like 7 other cards for each of the mini runner factions, so they have to rely on neutral cards as well as other runner faction cards, which is why the increased influence. But yeah, it is creepy. Look, it looks like Cthulhu and a beholder had a baby in a way. Just weird. And the names of the rest of his cards, of Apex's cards, don't make the weird, creepy vibe any less, let me tell you. So let's go on here. Here we have the console, Heartbeat. It's like a little console with a glowy red eye surrounded by cobwebs in like some place stuck in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't look pleasant. It is a 2 credit to install, so not a lot to install. Gives you an extra memory unit. Trash an installed card to prevent 1 damage. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker and louder every instant. Edgar Allan Poe, The Telltale Heart, I would assume. Yeah, to just trash an installed card. Now, I think, from everything that I've read on the other cards, I think that uh, you can also trash face down cards. And I think if you install a card face down, you don't have to pay anything. Because the Corp doesn't have to pay anything to install cards face down, only when they res them. So I think if you can just install cards face down, you can trash face down cards and not have to cost any money. You just prevent your damage that way. I think that's what they're aiming for here. On to the next. Oh look, a creepy plant zombie thing called Harbinger. Lovely. And it's got these weird symbols at the bottom of, yeah, at the bottom of this card. It's got these weird, almost like Braille Morse code symbols. I don't know what those are yet. It's weird. This is a 0 cost, 0 credit cost, 0 memory unit cost program. When Harbinger is trashed, install it face down instead of adding it to your heap. So you could trash this one, install it, and then just install it face down, and then trash it again once it's face down. Um, yeah, there's no strength to it, and that's all it really is there for. I think is to just take damage for you. This is a weird one, Apex. I don't know. Oh, what's this? This is a run called Prey. Yeah, just super creepy. 0 credits to install, or 0 credits to play. Make a run. Once during this run, when you pass a piece of ice, you may trash a number of your installed cards equal to the strength of that ice. If you do, trash that ice. So yeah, you can, if you pass ice, you can just trash it and it's gone. How cool is that? Everything about this seems very almost like an Anarch. This thing doesn't, although while the Anarchs are pretty much set up to kind of like tear the corpse house down, Apex seemed to be set up to devour the corpse house. It's very, very evil and sinister, especially with all the artwork and the names. So let's continue to the next piece. Here we have another another program. 0 credits to play, 4 memory units to install, which is massive, with an 11 strength is insane. Trash an installed card, break and end the run subroutine. So yeah, this thing seems to be set up. You get so many of your cards laid out, and you just start running, trashing them to take damage. Anytime you hit and end the run, you get this installed, you trash a card, and you break that subroutine. You just plow through and just destroy everything. Now this is interesting right here. Joseo Green, SYNC, a sync analyst. We heard about sync before. I've been monitoring the anomalies activity across the New Angeles, Pacifica, and Andrea trunk lines and associated nodes. I have yet to detect a predictable pattern or even to formulate a theory as to the anomaly's nature. Yeah, endless hunger, and that's you can see the eye and the tentacles of Apex as he's just devouring what's there. And here we have hunting grounds, which looks disgusting, like writhing worms or something. Blech. It is a location virtual resource. 2 credits to install this. Once per turn, prevent a when encountered ability on a piece of ice. You can just be like, nope, not happening. You trash and you install the top 3 cards of your stack face down. So this is nice for just being like, whoosh. You can trash it and install cards face down, and get that extra damage reduction as you need it. There's parts of the network now that are different from how they used to be. I can't put my finger on it. It's just something twitching at my ganglion through my BMI. Reeve. I don't know who Reeve is. I haven't heard him before. But hunting grounds, just ugh. Okay. Now we've got 2 more to go. We're almost done. Here's the next one. Wasteland. 2 credits to install. A location virtual. The first time each turn you trash one of your installed cards, gain a credit. Simple, but effective. Especially if you get 3 of those installed. Data goes in, nothing comes out. Yeah, as I've said, pretty much everything about Apex and all the cards for it is just so sinister. Alright. I'm not sure I would. I'd definitely like to try Apex out, but I don't know. I'm not sure how it all works. I got a vague idea in my head, as you've heard, of exactly what it's supposed to be used for, but I don't know for certain. And I'm still trying to figure out Reina Roja. Okay, here we are. The last card. Oh my god. Apocalypse. Just it's like Apex is devouring the entire world. It looks like disturbing imagery. 3 credits to install this beast or to play it, and it's an event. You can play it only if you made a successful run on HQ, R&D, and archives this turn. Trash all installed corp cards. Turn all installed runner cards face down. Dear God, that is insane. So if they've got a house built up, if they've got like 3 remote servers, ice protecting them, ice protecting their central servers. They've got stuff in the bottom. I mean, this is something you play like a mid to late game. If you manage to make a successful run on HQ, R&D, and archives, on your fourth click, you just be like, I play this. Everything is gone. The corp has nothing anymore. No ice, no assets, no upgrades, no agendas, no ambushes. Everything that they installed is gone. Just gone. All your cards are turned face down. They're still there, but it's just gone. I mean, that is just. And for only 3 credits. This seems to be a very low money deck. A very low money deck for Apex. I don't know how good it would be or if it will be any good. I just don't know. But it's kind of interesting. All of these new cards. It's very, very interesting. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I definitely am looking forward to checking it out when it comes. Hopefully soon. Fantasy Flight Games. Hopefully soon. So yeah, that's it for this archives. Um, I just wanted to get the rest of Data and Destiny done up because it fascinates me. So I will leave it be there. You guys can, well, yeah. I was gonna say something, but no, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna leave it here, and that will be the end of it. So yes, until next time, you all take care and keep running.